Marriage is traditionally seen as a sacred bond spanning 7 lifetimes, but in Mangalpur, a demonic entity claims the right to dictate these unions. Older generations viewed the village curse as a fixed part of their destiny. However, the younger generation classifies these oral histories as primitive folklore that has no place in the modern world. Tanya still carries the village's collective fear, but her partner Sanjay represents the new guard. As the educated heir to the local estate, he views the legends of the Vadhusur as an intellectual joke. In Mangalpur, ignoring the local warnings doesn't offer protection. It leaves the modern world completely exposed to a historical threat it no longer has the tools to recognize. The first warning arrives the moment the couple discusses marriage. A crow drops from the sky and slams into their car windshield, dying instantly. Sanjay simply treats the bizarre event as a statistical anomaly. He dismisses the caretaker, Sujan Singh, who pleads with him to leave the estate before the Vadhusur notices his intent to marry. When the sound of phantom anklets echoes through the halls at night, Sanjay's reaction is to investigate. He takes a flashlight into the unlit corridors, determined to find a mechanical or human explanation for the noise. Sanjay's insistence that there is a logical explanation for every sound leads him to do exactly what the villagers fear most. He opens the door. He breaks into a long-sealed room and finds a girl standing before an antique mirror, with blood streaming from her eyes like tears. As Sanjay approaches, a second figure appears in the reflection. A bride in tattered clothing reaches out, seizes him, and drags him into the mirror. Sanjay vanishes for a week, leaving no trace behind. When he finally calls Tanya and tells her to meet him at the estate, his skepticism is gone, replaced by a cold, repetitive insistence on their immediate marriage. The Vadhusur specifically targets hosts who believe they are above the local superstition. It uses their physical bodies as a bridge to execute a will that has been dormant for centuries. The possessed Sanya uses Tanya's devotion to lure her to the estate at midnight. He knows her desire to save him is stronger than her fear of the bungalow. Tanya finds a bleeding victim on the floor, just as the front doors are chained shut. She realizes too late that she hasn't come to a rescue, but a ritual. In a room lit by a ritual fire, Sanya sits dressed in a black bridal gown and heavy makeup. He is no longer speaking for himself, but performing the role of a demonic bride. He begins chanting to place Tanya in a trance. The ceremony is designed to bind her soul to the entity through the same holy vows that were meant to protect her. The Vadhusur seeks the spiritual corruption of the marriage rite itself, turning a communal bond into a private cage for its victims. The ritual is interrupted by Sujan Singh. He ignores the demonic display and uses an iron chain to physically restrain the possessed Sanjay. Sujan throws a prepared amulet into the ritual fire. The resulting flash of light breaks the entity's connection to Sanjay's body, ending the possession instantly. Sujan's success comes from years of quiet study and a refusal to underestimate the threat. He survived because he treated the stories as practical data. This victory suggests that ancient threats require specific, traditional countermeasures. Pure logic is a poor shield against an enemy that operates outside of it. This family tree shows the Vadhusur is the estate's original owner, Sanjay's direct ancestor. He was killed by villagers for his obsession with forced bridal rituals. A timeline reveals the curse simply waited for a descendant to return to the site of the original sin. The monster is the physical manifestation of a family history that was buried but never resolved. It fed on the silence of the generations that followed. Safety from the past doesn't come from labeling it as superstition. It comes from acknowledging that history, no matter how dark, continues to exert a pull on the present.